Hey bitches, you know, 3 years ago, which was like 2022, actually it was mainly 2021 when we do this shit. I mean 4 years ago, I did this stupid shit. Basically it's a cool cyberpunk city on Roblox. However, it was barely finished. The UI is probably taken from some quantum science game. There was music and it was some kinda Macleod song or whatever. Look, this is one of the dumbest law I ever did. Of course, I might have to rewrite the backstory, all of this shit. This was all back when I was 15. All of the information is really outdated. You know, the genres are sci-fi, science fiction, cyberpunk, biopunk, and futuristic. Eventually in 2023 I played Cyberpunk 2077. However, I was focused on other things. Look, Rule 3 would no longer be enforced. And this name is actually stupid. I mean, nowadays it wouldn't really make sense. However, back then Y was treated as a vowel. Old eudaimetic is strange and idiotic. And look, there are 4 factions: super cool Japanese group, Arabic group, probably, I don't know about the other 2. Takama is Yakuza. In 2022 I did play the Yakuza games and I was quite obsessed with it. Nowadays I'm no longer that obsessed with that Yakuza games. Nowadays they call it Like a Dragon. But I did stream lots of Yakuza back then. Of course, all of those others are not completed. It's just only Takama is mentioned. Guess what? Today is 2025. And this is the map. And wanna know why Limb is only there? It's the only completed place. Look, there's this really good map. Basically, most of the words, well, you cannot say most because that's an understatement actually. In fact, not all of the words are done, and I don't really like how I did the words. But I think this is one of the most proudest I did. Like, the words are actually complete. It's just that it's quite tedious to do all this work, so I fucked around with that, made this. This is the result. I don't know how I did the scale, but Look, this is the super cool border crossing. The border, the big fat border. And it's supposed to be that really cool tall building one. Yeah, maybe, I don't know. Not that it matters that much for me. The entirety of Limb is covering that. This is the entire Limb district. Look. It's just all game. So, moving on. Here's my not really that great Scratch projects. Like then, it was from 2021. It's funny how I used to like those before I no longer like them. Look, this is the Scratch equivalent. Look how cool this is. The Void. Of course, you should try living there. It's a very great place to live in. Don't worry, none of that is canon anymore. Likely, I don't really give a shit. Look! District 9. The map is completely drawn in Scratch. Look, it's so cool and futuristic. You should be glad that I could do some stupid bullshit like this. Look! And basically this is a reason why you should not get too ambitious. This was the consequence. Basically, a big hole there exists. This is where that Diamond Corporation building is supposed to be. The tower is forming the skyline is from there. And this is the industrial zone. Commercial, I don't know. Offices, whatever. Maybe commercial, whatever. Fuck it. Basically, there's no airport. Why? It's not on Earth or Arceus. It's not on any actual planet. You can't call this shit a planet and get away with it. Nowadays I've done something way better. Basically, we do have this new diamond info. This is the official group for the Arcesia project. If you haven't realized, the Arcesia project, it's, you know, let me search up the game. Like, it's literally in my profile. If you go here, oh my god, it's awful. Like, if you go, okay, now it's, if we go here, this is Arcesia project, teleport hub. And this is the official server, but let's go back to Discord. And this is the entire districts of New Diamond City. Here's the so cool containment zone that everyone should fucking live in. You love being contained. I did upload the map for it. Of course, I don't really feel that great anymore. Look, no one more plays properly. This is my character submissions, yeah. And do you know what the latest shit we did? Yes, this is the latest contribution to the Arcadia project. This very video I uploaded, the previous video. And this one isn't really an update, it's just adding visualizers. And this was the old update, folks. You know, Spark City used to have a Discord server. Like Spark City Revamp, actually. Of course, it's just mainly me who is in charge. Anyways, that's it. Yeah, bye bitches. It doesn't really have to matter that much because you get to see some of my shit from 2022, but you know, the surprising thing about it is that, you know, when you're checking in Roblox and seeing that, look, one of your fucking games appear in the homepage. Why? I think it's a fucking algorithm. And it's all of those awful fucking games. Steal a brain rot. Of course, one may argue that it's the equivalent of those MLG memes 10 years ago, or 11 or 12, whatever. It's the kind of... The problem is that people are using AI to make this awful shit. You remember Grow the Garden? Let's slap AI generated slop to it. Thankfully, this game was sadly popular, and I don't really feel comfortable. Like, this game actually stole the Last Turn Lift's audience. If you look at that previous Last Turn Lifts, look, this is the entire video of me making this shit. And it's not the current version you saw in Roblox. Look, about an hour was spent in making this game just to prove how easily you can replicate a shitty game. Basically, this is the equivalent of, this game sucks, I'm gonna make something better than this shit. However, Last in Lifts got sold by some greedy fuck. Like, look, if you go back to this Last in Lifts video, look, if you go to the dislike this game, it's this. This is now Last in Lifts. This was Last in Lifts. When you check this group, it's a war military group. The fact that they actually managed to delete all of their posts is quite sad. Do you remember when this very game was about lifts? Well, fuck you. It's just a shitty war military group. And I'm saying this because I've been playing this dumb shit for, yeah, like I've been playing this game for like 10 years. Roblox, literally. And I don't really feel motivated to make Roblox games, certainly. I am really busy in real life. I want to do better shit, but I can't because I'm making excuses. So, District 9 was an example of the consequences of ambition. Last in lifts is the result of, I'm saying it incorrectly. Half-ice lifts is basically my answer to last in lifts. Basically everything in half-ice lifts is offered for free. Do you want private servers? It's free. VIP area? Fuck you, free. Gravity and speed coil? Free. But wait, what about the very fan you can buy? Well, guess what? There's no fan. Like, literally, the map is so fucking small that there's no point in putting fans. This was basically a rant on, like, this video, you cannot say that it's about what happened to District 9. Rather, it's how I'm certainly feeling at this moment. Actually, let's just not give this video a title. Or should we? It's not like they would care about it. It's just that, just treat it as a live streams and shits video, except that this isn't a live stream but a proper video. If you're wondering, look, I could literally write literature, a shitty kind of literature. And no, AI is not used for this. It's all of this. I could literally write stories. Shitty ones, actually. Look how shit my story is. Hope you read all of this. Anyways, you may find some of my stories in there. Fuck it, bye bitches, let's not talk about it.